What's up, mortals? It's Dante from the anime Underworld, and today we are back in Four Nights of the Apocalypse, chapter 208, Father and Son in Conversation. With a cover page of a young Lancelot prancing through the fairy woods like a young little nimble fairy prince. We got another chill chapter, but plenty of good moments, so hey, let's get into it. We begin chapter 208 in Benwick with the fairy residents excited that Sir Lancelot has finally returned. The entire civilization of the forest is happy that the royal family is together and all so merry, even though King Bond is still such a prankster, like he always was. Speaking of the Fairy King of Benwick, man, Lancelot is lucky that his dad is Bond, because dang, that food looks so delicious. Lancelot is with his folks in time for family dinner, with Bond preparing a magnificent feast. However, the God of War isn't sure he can't pack that much in. But you gotta get big, Lancelot. Your dad said so you gotta eat your meat. However, his son doesn't want to get any bigger. Dude, you got the Bond genes. You're gonna be tall for sure. Though if you look closely at this shot, there's a fourth person at the table, but we'll get to that in a bit. Lancelot is stuffing his face, but he complains to his mother, "You whined at me about not warning you, but you sure seemed to know that I was coming." His mother Elaine grabs Bond by the arm and says, "Well, of course I did. I'm your mom and also his wife. I know how you both work." Yeah, Lancelot, that is how moms work. That is their main magic. They know how the boys think and act. Turning his attention away from his mom, Lancelot stares at someone, asking, "By the way, why is she stopping by to visit again? But who is it? Who is this mystery person that you all probably know?" It's Tori, the seventh child of King and Deanne, who is eating a very big plate of spaghetti. She must be carbo loading, telling her cousin, "Well, you keep running off somewhere, so I came all the way here to help out. Besides, you should be glad to have the company of a cute girl as me." Man, I really miss Tori. She was my favorite character in the Fairy Realm arc. The two cousins continued their bickering with the God of War mocking her. "Okay, so you're just here for the fun then." But Tori goes on the defensive. "Hey, I keep watch and stuff sometimes too." Are you sure that's all you do? Luckily, the Fairy Queen tries to calm them down, holding a glass of wine, and says, "Hey, you two get along, you're cousins." I don't know, they're acting more like they're siblings in that case than cousins. Though we all know why she's really here. She needs the info dump to Lancelot. Tori explains, "Oh, and speaking of cousins, Lan. Okay, that's a cute nickname. Did you hear that my older brother who got swapped for a changeling 18 years ago was, drumroll, Nasien's? And now, maybe, he's now my older sister too." Yeah, I don't blame Lancelot for just being completely dumbfounded by that whole info dump. A reminder that Lancelot first found Nasien's as a complete and total stranger in a fairy forest, the cursed boy of the Echo Gorge. Now he's finding out that Nasien's is in fact his long-lost cousin, and he is now a she officially. So yeah, that expression was very much warranted. And so is his barrage of questions as he asks Tori, "Wait, what did you just say? That was Nasien's all those years ago? We're cousins? And she's a girl?" But with all these questions comes a very simple request. "And also, please stop calling me Lan, Tori. Aw, come on, man, that's a cute name." She calls Tristan Tree. Her Uncle Bond asks a very important question. How's Myrtle taking this? Well, she answers that it's just fine. They're still a big family and they get along, even though Myrtle did, betray the kingdom in a way and turn into a weird chaos monster because he found out he was a human and not a half giant, half fairy hybrid, but it's all good, Lancelot admits that it's just part of the weirdness. They adapt to stuff pretty fast, which is pretty impressive. especially for this weird family. Elaine just smothers 𝐃𝐨, coddling her, complimenting that she is so glad that 𝐃𝐨 is not at all like her older brother, the Fairy King. Man, she really must not like Six. Luckily, that's not a problem because Sixtus never comes around Benwick. Mostly due to Bond bullying him, so they don't get along. And I get why. Bond and King didn't exactly have the best friendly relationship during their time among the 7 deadly sins. So Bond finding out that he has a nephew who looks exactly like his dad did before the full wings, yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of teasing on his nephew, so that relationship is strained. With Lancelot caught up to date on all the family drama, now it's his turn to fill them in on what he's been doing this whole time in Camelot. The Prince of Benwick explains that the 4 evils of Camelot had set up a patrol network across the kingdom just to watch out for him alone. He is that dangerous. Bond explains that he knows this. He heard about the ruckus that he called all the way over in Anafwin. His son explains that the 4 evils were usually so spread out, but then they met all at once. Was it a trap, or was there another reason? Regardless of the reason, Lancelot went to go check it out, and lo and behold, all of his friends had gathered. Tristan, Gawain, and Percival, they had all stepped up to take on the 4 evils, even though that plan failed pretty spectacularly. This surprises Bond that Percival, his friend, the one that had died, is actually alive. Lancelot tells his father that yeah, the dude was alive the whole time, which gave Bond the excuse he needed to tousle his son's hair, making the old drunk king very happy to see his son out of his depressive funk. Even though Bond should stop tousling his son's hair, much to his chagrin, he says that this is the perfect opportunity for a celebratory drink. I mean, come on, this is Bond. He'll drink to pretty much anything.
My liver exploded twice already. Let's go to number 3.
I really like this moment between Lancelot and Bond. We don't get enough parental moments between the 4 knights and their parents. We saw Tristan and his family a couple of times, but we never got to see Lancelot and Bond interact, and this moment is very nice. I can't wait to see more moments between father and son. Hopefully we'll see Gawain and her parents, but we'll just have to see. We transition to 𝐃𝐨, who is out cold. Bond, please tell me you did not give her any alcohol. While Elaine is looking over the edge to see her son and husband just completely trying to destroy each other in an intense training session. Or for them, it's just Tuesday. Father and son fight in an epic clash, with Lancelot trying his best to get up on his dad. But this is Bond we're talking about. He mocks his son. What's wrong, Lance? Your moves are way too dull, aren't they? Like in the last chapter, Bond captured his son in a menacing bear hug, asking his son if he caught a cold. This should be an epic victory moment, but Bond notices something's off. He's wondering what the heck is going on. His son Lancelot got him just where he wanted. You can't move me at all, right? Like you're trying to body slam Aunt Deanne. Oh, I love that Lancelot calls Deanne his aunt, but I do remember a time when Deanne actually body slammed Bond. The God of War explains that he's got this friend with a really neat magical trait. So he took a shot of it from her on purpose. Oh, so he lied on purpose. The effect is actually working on him, but he's just too strong. I thought Hazing Moon had negated it somehow, but he's actually still under the effect of Anne's magic. Though a good question is, how long does it last? Bond doesn't seem to mind his son's sudden weight gain when he teases, "Neato, you're perfect for weight training," when he lifts Lancelot right into the air, even though it probably pushed Bond a few feet into the ground. Jeez, Lancelot, how much weight did you gain? This was the explanation that Bond needed. He thought his son had just gained some extra weight. No wonder he caught him so fast. But Lancelot is still amazed that Bond even caught him while he's still drunk, with the two no doubt continuing their banter as training goes on. The Fairy King of Benwick settles down on a nearby route, telling his son, "Well, my mind's sure at ease now. I thought you were just off your game." But something is off with Lancelot. He seems remorseful. He tells his father, like, if I went too far with all that havoc over there and it caused you some trouble, then sorry? He's apologizing? Even Bond is surprised, spit-taking and teasing his son. Ha! And I'm gonna be seeing pigs flying around soon or what? Bond, don't ruin this moment. He's trying to be sincere to you. And Bond does know this. Father tells son, hey, it's the job of your kid to cause you trouble. And the job of a parent, you take care of them. Trust me, Lancelot, you do not want to meet your grandparents. Lancelot continues to apologize, explaining, 5 years ago, when I came back from being missing, you know why I kept avoiding you? He thinks back to that time. Back when he was a very muscle-bound 13-year-old, he felt guilty that Bond was still apologizing to him inside his mind, even though he totally had that coming too. So he is being regretful. He is being sincere with his apologies. And Bond is also being sincere, telling him, whether you did it or not, it's still my fault. It was my duty to protect you as my child, and I completely failed at that. Guys, I'm loving all this. I'm loving the family wholesomeness and just Lancelot continues to tease his father. You go way too overboard with that, don't you? All with Elaine looking over her son and husband, finally making amends, and Bond having the last laugh. You'll get it once you have a kid. No, we are not bringing up Galahad now. It's too early for that. The God of War stands up and asks his father for a favor. But what is it? What does Lancelot have to ask his father? Lancelot is asking his father if he could teach him that skill of his. He's talking, of course, about that skill. The one that completely caught him off guard from behind, totally unaware. I actually remember what this skill even is. Bond used it like once though. It's called Zero Sign. Bond made himself essentially a ghost right by all of the 10 Commandments while he was trying to save Meliodas from Alascula. Lancelot is a pretty good assassin and spy. After all, dead men tell no tales. But if he wants to learn Zero Sign from his dad, this will make him an excellent spy. And for good reason. He's the most wanted man in Camelot right now. And him just being there made anything covert be a huge pain in the ass. And his father knows why, despite Lancelot's shape-shifting ability. Magic-wise, Lancelot is a gigantic pillar of force. A magical aura, possibly the size of a skyscraper, is erupting from this kid. He's got so much magical force that there's no practical way of hiding it. Every time he enters Camelot, he's probably just a giant beacon saying, hey, I'm over here. So Bond agrees to teach him this technique. All he has to do is just close his eyes for 1 second. Following his dad's command, Lancelot closes his eyes. Seeing only darkness, Bond asks, what do you feel? For a moment, there's nothing. But in the next shot, he says he feels his presence, the smell of the alcohol. He sees his mom, too, with her watching over them. And there's Tori, who's passed out, cold. Bond, please tell me you did not give this girl alcohol. The young prince is asked if there's anything more, and he responds with, yeah, he can go on just all day with it. Lancelot can sense a lot of things in the forest. He senses the fairies of the land, big and small. He can also sense the deer, the squirrels, the rabbits, the pack of wolves. Smaller birds all nestled up and sleeping. That's all Lancelot is able to sense. There's no intruders. But Bond's not done testing his son yet. He asks Lancelot if he can sense anything else. How about the insects? The trees, the grass, the flowers, the moss-laden rocks? Because even little pebbles have a presence that Lancelot can pick out. But what's the point of sensing those things? Even Lancelot agrees, saying, come on, Dad, who's gonna give a crap about every single... But that is the point. That's the key to it all. And this shuts up Lancelot to his surprise. Bond tells his son nobody pays attention to every tree and every insect or rock, do they? And those rocks, those insects and plants, they don't try to hide from anyone. Okay, I see what you're doing here. I see the method to your madness. Case in point, when Bond just disappears and reappears as if he teleported behind Lancelot, telling his son, okay, time for some more training, with Lancelot looking like he just probably crapped his pants. And so we end chapter 208 with a very happy Elaine looking at Lancelot and Bond continuing to train together, but continuing to have their very teasing relationship, even though he hates his father for tricking him into calling him master and vowing revenge to kick his dad's ass. And that is how we end chapter 208. Again, we got another chill chapter, but plenty of hype and good wholesome moments. I love the family dinner arc. Lancelot is so lucky that his dad is Bond and is an excellent chef. I think he would have died of food poisoning if he ate any of Meliodas' cooking. Tori, I wonder what she's going to be doing. I hope she's not here just for, I don't know, exposition dumping and maybe promoting Seven Deadly Sins Origins? I don't know. It's a little weird that she's here, but hopefully it serves a point. She was my favorite character in the Fairy Realm arc. Again, we're reminded why Lancelot is the brains behind the Four Knights of the Apocalypse. He certainly is strong, and he's training to get stronger from the guy who took on literal gods. But Lancelot knows when to work smarter, not harder. The other Knights of the Apocalypse were capable of slipping by Camelot's defenses and alerts for a long time. Mostly due to Gawain and her rings, but also the fact that they're not exactly too flashy like he is. Lancelot's the equivalent of you are here on a map. Should Lancelot learn how to use zero sign like his dad, he can just sneak into Camelot just fine, not just for whenever he goes on solo missions, but should he and Four Knights of the Apocalypse band together to invade Camelot as one team. But Lancelot still has a long way to go under the tutelage of his dear father. What did you think of chapter 208? What are you excited for chapter 209? Let me know in the comments, and if you love Seven Deadly Sins or Four Knights of the Apocalypse material, subscribe for more. We got more content coming soon, but if you're new to the channel, check out our previous videos for more content that you might have missed. This has been Dante from the Anime Underworld, and I'll see you mortals later.